All right, welcome back. Today, we are diving deep into habit 3, put first things first. Now, listen, this is not just some time management hack. This is the real deal, the principle of personal management. It's where all that big picture stuff you figured out in habit 2 actually starts to happen. We're talking about self-mastery, about having the discipline to act on what really matters. But before we get into the nuts and bolts, let me ask you a question. And be honest. Have you ever gotten to the end of a day where you've been running around like crazy, answering a million emails, putting out fires left and right, and you just collapse on the couch thinking, what did I actually get done today? You know, nothing important? Yeah, we've all been there. That right there is the massive difference between just being busy and being truly effective. And today, we're going to learn how to be effective. So what's the problem here? Well, a lot of us are hooked on what you could call an urgency addiction. I mean, think about it. We live in a world of dings, pings, and notifications just screaming for our attention, right? And we get this little rush from reacting, from clearing that inbox, from putting out those fires. But here's the trap. We mistake all that activity for actual achievement. Okay, let's really break this down because getting this difference is like everything. Urgent things, they act on you. They just show up and demand a reaction right now. You know, like that phone ringing off the hook. You don't choose it, it chooses you. But important things, well, those are totally different. They're all about results. These are the things that move you closer to your mission, your values, your biggest goals. And guess what? They require you to act first. You have to be proactive. So the big question is, how do we get a grip on all this? How do we break that urgency addiction? Well, the answer lies in this really powerful but super simple tool called the time management matrix. Think of it as a map that's going to show you exactly where all your time and energy is really going. And here it is. It looks simple, right? But it's brilliant. It's organized along 2 lines. Across the top, you've got urgent and not urgent. And down the side, you have important and not important. This simple grid creates 4 distinct boxes or quadrants, and literally every single thing we do fits into one of them. So let's walk through them one by one. First up, we've got quadrant I. This is the zone of urgent and important. Think crises, big pressing problems, and those projects with a deadline breathing down your neck. Look, we all have to spend some time here. That's just life. But the big danger is that if you live in quadrant I, it just grows and grows and grows until it completely takes over. It's pure, nonstop firefighting. Okay, now let's jump down to quadrant 3. This one is tricky. It's called the quadrant of deception, and for good reason. It feels productive because it's urgent, right? Your phone is buzzing, people need you. But here's the catch. It's not actually important to you. These are the interruptions, a lot of those emails and calls, and a bunch of activities that are really based on somebody else's priorities, not your own. You feel busy, for sure, but you're not actually moving your own needle forward. And then, of course, there's quadrant IV, not urgent and not important. This is the zone of pure waste. You know, trivia, busy work, endless scrolling, all those escape activities. Now look, a little downtime is fine, it's healthy, but setting up camp in quadrant 4, it offers absolutely zero long-term value. It's just a black hole for your time and energy. So if we're trying to escape the chaos of crisis, the trickery of deception, and the emptiness of waste, where do we go? Well, my friends, we go to the heart of effective personal management. We turn to the one quadrant that truly effective people have absolutely mastered. We're talking about the power of quadrant 2. This is the sweet spot. It's the stuff that is important but not urgent. This is where the magic happens. It's where you do the work that prevents crises from ever starting in the first place. It's where you do your long-range planning, build really strong relationships, and work on the things that truly matter to you. I mean, these are the high-leverage activities that build the foundation for your entire future. And you know what? This idea perfectly explains the power of quadrant 2. It's basically the home of the Pareto principle. You might know it as the 80-20 rule. The whole idea is that a huge chunk of your results, like 80% of them, comes from a surprisingly small fraction, just 20% of your activities. And where do you think those super high-impact activities live? You guessed it. That is quadrant 2. And this is exactly what that looks like in practice. You make a small, focused, disciplined investment of your time in these quadrant 2 activities, and you get this massive outsized return in your results. It is the literal definition of working smarter, not harder. Okay, but let's be real. Understanding all this is one thing. Actually living it is a whole other ballgame. To make real space for quadrant 2, you have to actively take time away from quadrants 3 and 4. And that boils down to one simple but incredibly powerful skill: the discipline to say no.
I absolutely love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. The enemy of the best is often the good. Think about it. All those urgent quadrant 3 tasks often feel like good things to do, don't they? You're helping out a coworker, you're being super responsive, but they are the enemy of the best, which is your deeply important, game-changing quadrant 2 work.
So here's the secret. Where does that power to say no even come from? It doesn't come from just gritting your teeth and having more willpower. No. It comes from having a crystal clear purpose. It comes from having a bigger yes burning inside you. When you are so on fire for what truly matters, saying no to all the other stuff becomes surprisingly easy.
So how do you actually build that discipline? How do you fuel that yes? Well, it starts with step 1, clarify your values. That's your why that we talked about in Habit 2. You got to know what you stand for. Step 2, organize your week, not just your day. Stop firefighting moment to moment and get a bird's eye view. This is how you actually schedule your priorities. And finally, step 3, make and keep commitments, especially to yourself. This builds personal integrity, the trust that when you say you'll do something, you'll actually do it.
And when you really commit to this process, something amazing happens. You're not just managing your calendar a little better, you are fundamentally changing the kind of results you get in every area of your life. You are literally unlocking a whole new level of effectiveness. And the rewards, oh, they are huge. You'll have way fewer crises because you're busy preventing them instead of just reacting to them. You'll find more balance and vision because you're planning from a bigger perspective. You'll achieve real, sustainable success, not just quick, flashy wins. And ultimately, you're going to see a quantum leap in your effectiveness because you'll stop just managing time and you'll start leading your life. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought, this challenge. It's time to take this off the screen and put it into your life. Right now, looking at your own life, what is just one important but not urgent quadrant 2 activity that you will schedule time for this week? Seriously, think about it, pull out your calendar, and block out the time. Then do it. That is how you put first things first.